Hello, sunshines. Welcome to BunniPhish Crafts. I'm your host, Heather, known as BunniPhish on YouTube, Instagram, Patreon, and today is Wednesday, the 15th of March, 2023. This is episode 9 for the year. How are you? I am doing well. I am enjoying such a beautiful, almost spring day. It was so nice. I went to work and work was but then I took myself for a walk in the park. I did not take any video. I did earlier this week take a video while I was walking in the park. But today was a balmy 42 degrees. Like, I just wore my flannel open over a t-shirt, didn't have to wear a hoodie. Didn't wear a hat. I'm sorry, my daughter's being very loud in the kitchen. So I didn't have to wear a hat. I didn't wear any knitted accessories. I just went for a walk in the park. The sun was shining. It was a beautiful day. So anyway, I took footage while I was walking in the park a few days ago. Well, I didn't actually take footage. I was sending a video to my best friend. I'm sorry, the computer screen reflecting in my glasses was bothering me. So I sent a video to my best friend because when I walk, I like to talk to my best friend, but she's not. We're on very different schedules right now. So we use WhatsApp. So I just send her videos via WhatsApp and she watches them when she's able. So anyway, I am going to put in a clip here of my video from, I think it was Monday. Hey, my love, how are you? I'm really tired. I should probably be at home doing my chores and schoolwork and cleaning out a box in the basement because it's Tuesday. Look at this. It's the first green growth of spring. Oh, I take back everything I said about should be somewhere else. This is where I should be. Oh, there's more. Hello, forest. So good to see you waking up. I was going to say I should be at home doing all of those things, but I need to be in the woods today. And winter is by far my favorite season, followed by autumn, but like spring is also so magical. So yeah, that was a lovely little experience. And I hope that if you're somewhere where if you're somewhere that has seasons and your seasons are changing, that you are enjoying whatever the changes that you are experiencing. That was terrible grammar. I think I was saying it one way and then ended up saying it another way. Anyway, I just wanted to check in with you because I'm having a really lovely day. I don't usually talk about things that I'm watching because I don't usually watch things. I'm not a big TV show person. I don't see a ton of movies. Like, I like to go to the movies, and I obviously take you when I go. Because I knit when I'm at the movies, but I don't like sit around and watch a lot of movies, or if I do, they're the same like 4 movies. So for instance, over the weekend I watched the Lord of the Rings trilogy. No, it was kind of over the weekend. It was when we had the snow day. I watched the trilogy. Anyway, a friend of mine recommended a series on Netflix. It is called Money Heist, but it's a Spanish show. So the Spanish name for it is La Casa de Papel. Yeah, La Casa de Papel, which is the house of paper or paper house. And I like it so much that today is Wednesday. I started it Saturday morning. And I had to work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And I am already somewhere in season 3. They're like 40-minute episodes on Netflix. They're really, really good. I'm not even like, I wouldn't say I'm a bank heist show type person, but, and I don't think I would like it. So you can watch it subbed. No, not subbed. You can watch it dubbed. You can watch it dubbed. I am watching it subbed. So I'm listening to it in Spanish, which I enjoy a lot. And also reading the subtitles. So I really like that because it gives my brain a lot to play with, right? Because I'm listening to Spanish. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this. I've probably mentioned this at some point in the last, 11 years or whatever that I've had the podcast. But when I was in elementary school, elementary through high school, I took 7 years of Spanish. So I know a lot of Spanish. I'm not fluent at all. But at the end of high school, I probably could have had a conversation with a kindergarten student, like a Spanish-speaking kindergarten student. And actually, like, I've retained enough that we had a kinder student start this year, and she only spoke Spanish. And we have a what is it? An ESL, English as a second language, teacher at our school. So she speaks Spanish. But like, I think that I was the only other adult in the building who like spoke any Spanish at all to her. There's another teacher who's fluent, but she's a middle school English teacher, so she had no reason to talk to a kinder student. And it was nice because especially the first like month and a half of school where she was going from no English to being able to understand things. Like in Michigan, you have to teach in English in the classroom, but being able to understand when she said she had to go to the bathroom in Spanish and like being able to say simple things like, everybody raise your hand, levanta las manos. Maybe I'm probably not pronouncing things correctly, but like it was enough to be able to, that she knew what was supposed to be happening. And it wasn't just social cues. Because as a kindergartner, social cues are hard. You don't know that you're supposed to do what everybody else does when you're just starting out, right? Especially because in the first couple of weeks, you can say, okay, everybody raise your hands, and not everybody raises their hand. Anyway, I'm on a tangent. So I'm really enjoying listening to this show in Spanish, and I feel like that could be a thing that happens more often because I understand a fair bit of like the conversational Spanish. Like I don't understand the my brain is all educatory, teachery right now. Like, I don't understand the subject content specific words. I was going to say, the tier 1 words, tier 2 words, tier 3 words. You're not going to know what that means if you're not a teacher. So, like, the subject specific words, like, I don't know what those mean. But most of the conversational stuff, and even I understand a lot of it. I can't speak a lot of Spanish, but I can understand a lot of it. And that's just because remembering sentence structure, like I have another side tangent for you. I worked at Burger King the summer between my sophomore and junior years of college, somewhere in there. I worked at a Burger King. And I was able to converse with some migrant workers. Not converse. I was able to take their order because they couldn't speak any English, and they were trying and like pointing and gesturing and stuff. But then one of them said a number 4. They said it in Spanish. And I was like, oh. I was like, sí. And then like able to the numero 4. And then we discussed, like, I knew enough to get us through the ordering process and to be able to like give them the price in Spanish. And it was just nice to be able to like, to be able to do that anyway. So yeah. So I'm enjoying watching Money Heist. House of Paper. I'm enjoying watching House of Paper. And I don't know how many episodes. I did not check before I started watching to see how many episodes there were, how many seasons. I just took the recommendation and ran with it. And I'm really, really enjoying it. But because I am watching something that requires me to read subtitles, that is dictating what types of projects I'm able to work on, right? So over the weekend, I made those hearts, and oh, you didn't see those yet. I took video of it. Okay, so I over the weekend, I made booties and hearts, and I didn't have to look to be able to work on those. So I'm going to insert a clip here. Hey friends, it is Tuesday, and I am going to show you, I'm chilling in my car at the library after taking a walk. This is what I made over the weekend. I made some hearts and some little booties to go with the blanket. I need to get in contact with the customer who ordered the blanket, so I can let her know it's all ready. So I figured I would show it to you before I do that, so I don't forget. And the sun is starting to go down because it's now about 7:30 in the PM, which, oh my gosh, we had sun up in my room until 7:30 in the PM. It's so very exciting. I do miss the sun a little bit in the wintertime, although I love so much about winter that it seems like a fair trade-off. But I've been watching the show, so I've been working on projects that I don't have to look at. So I'm going to turn you around so you can see what I've been working on. Here is my Unique Yarns sock, and this is where it was last time you saw it over the weekend. And I did most of this actually while walking today. My friends, it was warm enough that I could knit while I was walking. Oh, it was so lovely. It was so lovely to be able to knit and walk at the same time. I do miss that during winter time, the inability to have my hands out. So yeah, there's the sock. I am now to a point where I am just doing knit 2, purl 2 all the way around. So remember I was talking about how I had messed up and I was just going to add some stitches here and on the other side, decrease some stitches there. So I did that. And now I'm just doing knit 2, purl 2 until I do 56 rounds. That's what this marker is for. This is my beginning of round marker. And this is my counting marker. And I will, up in the corner right there, I will put a little, what is that? A tag, a something for a video about using stitch markers to count. It's my favorite trick because you don't have to think about it and I don't have to look to be able to move the marker. It's like my favorite trick. So this is just on knit 2, purl 2 until I get 56 rounds. And then I'll be doing, I think it's knit 3, purl 2, but maybe it's knit 2, purl 3. I'll have to pull out the first sock and see what I did and I'll do that until the yarn runs out. I still have a pretty decent sized chunk of yarn right now, but I'm going to take this to school tomorrow because maybe I'll knit, although probably not. I haven't been knitting very much at school because it's refresh and there's just so much paperwork and stuff that if I have a spare moment in classes, I've been doing that. And if I don't have a spare moment, I've been too agitated to pull out knitting, which is probably when I need to pull out the knitting the most. But anyway, I've been doing that. But what I have been working on a pretty fair bit are the socks for my sister's boyfriend. I mean, it's not a ton, but it is that's a decent chunk. And also, the hearts and the slippers is what I worked on mostly over the weekend. So yeah, here are these socks. And now that I've shown you the socks, I'm going to move up the markers so you can see what I do this week up until the weekend. And I don't know. I feel like I should find something in English to watch too, so that I can work on my other knitting projects, but I don't know. Yeah. I might just watch Lord of the Rings again. I'm not gonna lie. It's like my comfort, favorite background stuff. I love the music. I love the story. I've seen it so many times that I don't really have to pay attention. Because I have some letters to write. I have some people to write back to. I have 3 right now that I've had for a few weeks. And I just haven't gotten there because work has been so much. So I'm probably not going to watch Money Heist. Well, that's a lie. I'm totally going to watch another episode before bed. But I'm only going to watch 1 episode. So now I'm going to turn you around again. I need to go do my chores because I haven't done those yet. And then I'm going to watch something that I can write a letter while I'm watching it. It might be a podcast or it might be a movie or something. I don't know yet. So yeah, those are my plans. I don't know why I'm telling you all this. Who knows? Sometimes I'm just chatty, and today is one of those days. All right, friends. I will talk to you soon. Hello, sunshines. Welcome back to BunniPhish Crafts. It is Sunday, the 19th, yes, of March. How are you? If you're somewhere where they celebrate St. Patty's Day, did you have a good day? Or at least a good Friday? I had a good St. Patty's Day. I went out with my sister and her boyfriend. I haven't been out on St. Patty's since college, and I only went out once, and I didn't go out. I went to a friend's house party. So yeah, it was interesting. We went to just a bar pub thing downtown, or right outside of downtown. I live pretty close to the downtown area. Sorry, I had to go get my dog settled on the bed. She's very old. She's almost 13, and my bed is high off the ground, so she can't get up there anymore by herself. Anyway, it was fun. I am not in the habit of going out that often. I know it seems like it if you've been watching the past month's worth of episodes. I've gone out a lot, but I don't usually. But my sister invited me, and that has been super lovely. I had a really good time. There was a band, and that was super fun. They're called the Time Machine, I think. So they were playing like classic rock. When we got there, there was an Elvis impersonator. So the first, I don't know, half hour set was Elvis, which was okay. But then my sister and I were dancing, and it was really fun. And I miss when I used to go out a long time ago. Back when I only had one child was the last time I went like out. My sister and I would go dancing, and that is my favorite thing. I love music and I love dancing. So it was fun. It was fun to like go out on the dance floor and just, yeah, I had a really good time. So I hope that if you celebrated, you had a good time. If you stayed in, you had a really good time. I have had many great St. Patty's days, minding my own business, staying in bed and sleeping. So, you know, however you chose to spend your Friday, I hope it was good. So let's check in on some things. I have been working away kind of diligently, but not like making a concerted effort to work on these socks, but I've done, 4 inches on my sister's boyfriend's socks. So from that red marker up, I don't have that much yarn left. So I don't know. I would say maybe 15 grams or something, if I had to guess. Maybe 10. I'm not actually great at like guessing, but yeah, there's not very much yarn left. So I've been knitting on these while I've been watching Money Heist, because I don't have to look at this, right? Oh, and that show is like, I don't know if I'm going to make it. So I know I went on a big ramble either earlier this week or last week about Money Heist, so I'm not going to go on a big ramble right now, but it is so very good. So good. And it's like literally giving me every single feel, including anxiety. So anyway, since I'm watching it in Spanish with subtitles, this is my project for that for the most part. I have actually worked on my my green garter stitch blanket, but I didn't bring it over here. Maybe I'll take a clip for the end, or maybe not. Maybe you'll just see it eventually. But I did work on that a little bit while watching the show too, because I was tired of working on this project. I needed to change it up. I was too tired is what it was. Knit 2, purl 2 ribbing was too much. And so I had to switch over to garter stitch because I'm still exhausted. Work is still being work. Personal life stuff is still being tricky. So yeah, so I've been exhausted, but I picked up this morning. It barely counts, but I'm going to count it because the intent is there. I picked up the Heartsplosion sock, the second sock. I test knit this for the designer back in late January, right? Because it released at the beginning of February. I think that's right. So I made the first sock and now I'm on the second sock. And I am a little more than halfway through the leg of the sock. So I did 2 rounds this morning, which is more than I've done in weeks, right? So I'm showing you, I'm hoping to work on it, especially because there's so much more sunshine now. So the problem that I was having of not having sunlight is not an issue. And also I don't have the baby blanket anymore. So I have like all of that brain space open for working on this, because this is, I mean, it's a charted pattern, so it's not terribly difficult. You just follow the charts, but there is some ladder back jacquard going on, which is a technique that's not difficult, but I do have to be cognizant of where I'm putting my stitches and stuff. So I'm hoping to get back to this. I don't have a time limit for this. I'm not trying to put a deadline on. I would just like it to not be lingering on my whips shelf. I have a whips shelf in my room now. Did I tell you a couple weeks ago that I moved all of my like minis and crafting things from the living room where they were last year down to my bedroom? And so like all of my crafting stuff is back in my bedroom. All of my books are back in my bedroom. All of my things are back in my bedroom because since I'm not sharing my bedroom with another human, I had a big breakup last year. I have access to my bedroom all the time. It's not like someone else is sleeping and I can't go through my things. So I brought all of my stuff back in my room. And it's very exciting. So it means I have a whips shelf in my room and I don't want things to be lingering there. I want to, like, I started them for a reason, right? So I want to keep working on them. I have a whole finished object. I'll get it in a minute. But I also started working on something that I had intended to make during Pisces season, make along, and I started it and then I just didn't work on it because it took too much brain space. This is going to be a Sky Shard cowl by Amanda Manis, and I've just barely started it. I was able to crochet on it during Money Heist, but like it's not perfectly ideal for watching or for doing while I'm watching a show that I need to pay attention to. It's only not ideal because I have to refer back to the pattern for every round. So once I get back to the beginning, I have to pause the show and then go read and then do the first pattern repeat to make sure it's in my head. And then I can do the subsequent pattern repeats without looking at the pattern. But it's not ideal, which is why I didn't get more love this weekend. But I'm almost done with Money Heist. I'm on the last season, and I think I'm on episode 3 of 8 or whatever. So, yeah, soon I won't be working and watching that show at the same time. Okay, let's pause so I can go get that finished object. Well, I went to find the finished project, and I don't know where it is. It is possible that it is in the washing machine right now because I changed my bedding and it was sitting on the bed. So I made a hat for one of my students and it's not quite finished. I just have to like sew the top closed, the final 8 stitches. I have to sew them closed and take out the needles. So yeah, that might be in the washing machine right now. I guess we'll see in 15 minutes. But I had the leftover yarn from the baby blanket, and then I made hearts and booties, which you will have already seen. And then there was still a little bit of yarn left over, so I have a student at school who asked, I don't know, a month, 2 months ago, at some point, asked if I would make her a hat. And usually when students ask if I will make them a hat or something, I tell them that we can make a contract and they can earn it. Right? So like, what would be beneficial to them? Like for some students is if I get this grade in technology class, that's the class I teach, for whatever trimester, then I can have a hat or something. Or if I earn, or if I don't get any write-ups, you know, if they're a behavior kid, whatever would help them and me be most successful. But this girl, I love her. I have known her for at least 4 years, 5 years at least. I desperately wanted to be the mom who went on all the field trips when my kids were little, but it wasn't feasible when we moved up here from Kentucky because I had to work. I had to work to pay the bills. My job would not give me the flexibility to take off days. Like, I could try, but I was denied a lot. So I couldn't go on a lot of field trips. But then when my littlest was in 2nd grade, I started going on every single field trip. And the girl who I made this hat for was in my group on the very first field trip. I remember because I kept mispronouncing her name. And finally, she was like, "That's not how you say my name." And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. You should have told me. I would have," or I was like, I didn't say you should have told me. I said, "Oh, if you would have told me sooner, I would have corrected it." Like, I never want to disrespect students by saying their names incorrectly. Because, excuse me, when I was in school, we had a substitute and it was not his fault. He had a very thick Indian accent, and so he couldn't pronounce my name. But I remember my 1st grade self being so frustrated because I didn't realize he was calling on me, and like he got upset because nobody was responding. And finally I was like, "Are you trying to say Heather?" And he said yes. And I was like, "Oh, okay." And so like it was a frustrating experience for me. Now I get it. Like, it makes sense. But at that time, I didn't understand why he was mispronouncing my name. So I never want to do that to students. Whenever I'm unsure, I ask if I'm saying it the correct way. Anyway, so this girl, like, and she is the sweetest. She's so sweet. She gives me hugs like several times a week. You know, whenever she sees me, she's like, "How are you doing? How's your day?" Like, genuinely sweet and caring, because I'm not her teacher this trimester. She doesn't need to check up on me. She's not getting any brownie points by checking up on me. She's just checking up on me to see how I'm doing. And I appreciate her so much. So anyway, I told her I would make her one. But then, like, I had the baby blanket to do. So I didn't want to start another project, even though hats are so fast. Because case in point, I cast on the hat yesterday morning. I finished it yesterday. Except for sewing closed the crown because I was too tired. Not that it was particularly late when I finished the crown. It's just I had run out of energy. I didn't have any more energy to expend on like finding the notions and then weaving in the end and cutting the end and putting the needles away and all of the stuff that goes along with knitting and crochet that is not knitting or crochet. You know, I didn't have energy for the other stuff. So I didn't do it, but that's fine. I'll finish it as soon as I find it, probably in the washing machine. I also have something, and when I find it, I'll insert a clip or something here. Ta-da, here is the hat. It was not in the washing machine. I put it in a project bag with another project because I was cleaning off my bed so that I could wash my bedding. So, yes, the hat is finished. I am taking it to school. It's now Tuesday. I'm taking it to school with me this morning because I just closed it and giving it to my student friend. Hopefully she loves it. I received a package in the mail and it was a surprise and I am so excited. Look at these. Aren't they cute? They're like little hot pads. This one's super fun. So those are chilies, right? They look like chilies tied up or something. Some sort of plant life, but like they look like a bunch of chilies tied up to me. I don't know what they're supposed to be. But the other side is avocado. How fun is that? That's why I think these are chilies, but maybe they're not. And then this one is bright and colorful and says love all over it. And then sheep. It was just such a nice present from a friend because they know that things have been less than stellar lately. But that's okay. I'm getting through it. We're all getting through it. Everybody is getting through it. It will be okay. We will be okay. It's just heavy right now. But it was so nice. It was so lovely and unexpected and beautiful. And thank you so much. The last thing is I started a new book. Yes. I'm actively reading 3 books right now. I'm still reading, what is it called? Arch Nemesis. I picked up Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Faeries again. But then I was hanging out with my sister on Friday or something. Was it Friday? I saw her at some point. I don't feel like I went to her house on Friday. Oh, I did. I went over, I remember. Friday morning I went to my sister's house for breakfast. She wasn't doing so amazing. So my daughter and I brought breakfast to her place. And she had a book waiting for me and it is, I'll grab it so you can see it. The Queen's Price. So this is book number 12 in the Black Jewels series. And I love these books so much. And it's this is the book that I need right now. Like, Arch Enemies is good. I'm really enjoying the Encyclopedia of Faeries. But what I need right now with how things, not in my life is going fine, but things in the lives of the people around me who I care about a lot, they are going rough. And so what I need is a book like this where I'm visiting old friends and just hearing more of their story, I'm hearing what's going on with them. It's so good. I love these books. They're fantasy. There is magic involved. There are different races of people, including people who like fly, they have wings. It's really, really good. I'm enjoying it a lot. I picked it up Friday morning, and without trying, I'm on page 100. So, yeah, I haven't been like, I've been watching that show a lot. I haven't been like reading a lot, but I have been reading some, and it's very good. It's very good. So, yeah, that's what I'm reading, and I think that's all that I have for you this week. So, I hope that you are doing as well as you can be. I hope that you're having some successes, even if you're having some failures or losses. And I will talk to you in about a week. Oh, if you haven't watched the seasonal Yarny YouTube hop yet, go do that, because I doubt that I'm getting this out on Sunday. So if this is coming out on Monday or after, the seasonal Yarny YouTube hop is live. So go check that out. And if this somehow magically gets out on Sunday, then make sure to come back tomorrow so you can watch those videos. All right, I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.